As we have been reporting throughout the morning, NBC's Matt Lauer has been abruptly fired from his Today Show job after allegations of sexual misconduct in the workplace. It is news that has stunned many, including his colleagues and loyal Today Show viewers. So joining us to talk more about how this is an issue that is now taking main stage in workplaces across the country, Joyce Marter with Urban Balance, a licensed clinical psychologist, and Karen Conti, an attorney specializing in family litigation. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in. This is definitely the topic of conversation today. But it all started with Harvey Weinstein, and now the floodgates have opened. We are just hearing that Garrison Keillor, Prairie Home Companion, was let go from his job too. So that's the latest, and these are continuing to come in. So Karen, let me start with you first. Are news of allegations, because they're so continuous, are companies going to have to take these more serious? I mean, to fire someone like Matt Lauer, who is making millions a year, what point do you say, okay, you can't work for us anymore? This had to be very serious.
Well, once there's a claim made, the company has to investigate, meaning they have to talk to the victim, they have to talk to the alleged perpetrator, and any other witnesses who might have seen it. And if there is a determination that this happened, then they have to take some action. They have to separate the people, they have to reprimand, or in some cases, fire.
But the thing I want to ask you is, and a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, you can't do anything now, but this isn't about one slight little thing, and I think that's a point we need to get across.
No, this is not about smiling. This is not about saying you have a nice dress on today. This is about harassment. This is about intentionally making someone feel minimized and someone feel intimidated and threatened. This is what people do when they want to hurt you, not when they want to be nice to you.
And
very
Joyce,
different.
And this brings me to you, Joyce. So my question to you is, what is this doing to our mental health in the workplace? You know, men are now saying, I'm afraid to say anything. This is changing our work environment, isn't it?
Yes, thank you so much for having us on to talk about this important issue. And I'm hopeful that it's going to change the workplace in a positive way, making everybody more conscious, more aware of the importance of having a respectful work environment for all people. And it's not about making people feel scared, but really about educating them about what is inappropriate behavior in the workplace, and that that's not going to be accepted or tolerated anymore.
And I think you both will agree this truly is a watershed moment in history, isn't it? We are living this right now. This is all, we're in the middle of this major change, not only in the work environment, but when it comes to women and men having relationships. And I think one interesting point we don't hear a lot about that we should address is, let's talk about the victims. Women are now finding their voice. Would you agree, Karen?
Well, they are. They have a safe place to do it. I think that most women don't report this kind of thing because they fear retaliation. They fear that they're going to get fired or that something bad is going to happen. They also feel shamed in some ways that they somehow allowed this to happen, which is not the case. So now they're going to be empowered, and I think that's a really, really good thing.
And I think that also is an issue that people have said, why are women waiting so long? And Joyce, this is something you can address. Why do women wait so long to report these things? Does it make it a less of a criminal act, if you will?
Not at all. And I couldn't agree more with what Karen said. And I think culturally, unfortunately, this issue has been very prevalent and long-standing. And these recent events have shed light on this important issue. And so people are having the courage.
Right. So yeah. Is it because you have the strength in numbers? Is that what this is?
I think so. I think the Me Too campaign has been really helpful, seeing women and some men thinking of the Kevin Spacey example, having the courage to come out and share their stories, and seeing that people are taking them seriously and that there are consequences. Matt Lauer is a really important example. I think many would see him as a really good guy and be really disheartened and disappointed that this has come out.
And I think to see someone who is a broadcaster who you've respected over the years, to hear that this is coming from someone like him, I think this is one of the bigger shocks that we're seeing, you know, along with the other previous one from CBS. Absolutely. What kind of changes do you think companies, Karen, are going to have to do to make sure that this is not going to happen and that they're in threat of being sued as a result?
I think there's going to be massive training. There already is training available. I'm sure that Joyce does this and lawyers do this, but there's going to be more training. There are going to be more posters up in the lunchroom about what your rights are. The policy handbooks will be rewritten and make it much more clear what the chain of command is. And people will probably have to sign off that they understand and that they agree to be bound by those policies.
Now, you brought something up before we went on camera that I thought was important. And oftentimes, these men who make these inappropriate behaviors with women, they do tend to go after women who maybe they don't think are as powerful, right, Joyce, or will protect themselves.
Well, I think some sometimes it's an issue around empowerment and self-esteem, and women who have experienced sexual abuse or trauma or have maybe some self-esteem issues can be natural targets. But again, it's not their fault. But somehow I think that people who are sexual harassers sometimes do have that sixth sense that this may be a person who's vulnerable. And so it's unfortunate, it becomes re-traumatizing.
Right, okay. So if you had one thing to say about everything that's happened as a result of from the Harvey Weinstein moment to where we are, we're going to keep hearing more, what would that be?
I would tell women who have an issue at the workplace to bring it out right away. Tell someone, I don't like that email, I don't approve of that, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Say it with a smile, say it directly, and say it firmly. And if it happens again, then report it.
Joyce, your final words.
I would say that these events and these changes are important, and I'm hopeful about the future for our sons and daughters, that this will change the workplace environments to be safe and respectful for everyone.
Ladies, thanks so much. An important discussion, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about this discussion over the next few weeks and months.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.